Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you need that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and learn the fastest way to change your bad habits. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Change your environment.
The fastest way to change your habits is to change your environment. You ever notice how when you're in a different environment, maybe you go on vacation, maybe you go to an event or seminar, you start doing different things? You are still you, and you do some of the things that you used to do, but all of a sudden you're doing new things that become a part of your regular routine. You ever been away for a couple weeks and discover that you built up some new habits, and maybe some are healthy, maybe some are unhealthy. But if you've ever been away and you notice that you've picked up some new habits, why? Well, it's because the environment demanded it, because everybody else was doing it, because it was so easy, natural, comfortable to do that, that's why you do it too. And so if you want to be able to switch your habits quickly, you change your environments. Now, you may not always be able to go on vacation or go to events or seminars, so those are options. But it starts with you figuring out, well, what are the habits that you want to develop? Who are the people that you want to be around? And when you are around those people, you will start to think differently, which will lead to you behaving differently. When you see other people doing it, you're going to want to do it more. When it's in your environment more, you're going to want to do it more too. This morning, I was talking to a YouTuber, big YouTuber, bigger than me, more subscribers than me, slightly different niche. And I remember meeting him in California a couple of years ago. And one of the things he was struggling with was staying consistent. And I'm very consistent. And one of the things I was struggling with was staying healthy while I was on the road. And we were having dinner together, and he was eating super clean. He was eating fish and salad, and I probably had a burger or something, and fries. And coming away from that, what I realized was whoever is more confident wins. And when you're around other people, whoever's more confident in the habit that they have will be the dominant habit that both of you end up picking up. So if we were hanging out together more, here's what would happen. I would become a lot healthier in my eating, and he would become a lot more consistent in his content, because we'd be inspired by each other. Because he'd see me working away, make my videos, and he'd feel bad that he wasn't making his, and he'd have to go and start making his. And I see him eating healthy all the time and be like, man, I should be eating healthy. And it would force me to do it as well. That environment switch would allow us to create much better, stronger habits. So now you got to be careful about the kind of people who you're hanging out with. And if you look at the people who you've got right now around you, chances are they're keeping you stuck, they're keeping you small, they're keeping you where you are. And you're probably pouring into them, right? You're the one giving them love, giving them encouragement, giving them support, pouring into them. You're taking your cup and pouring into them, and it's great, and you should keep doing that, and it's amazing, and it's fulfilling. But who's pouring into you, and who's making you get to the next step? Because if you don't have that, you're gonna continue to stay small, or just have slow growth compared to where you could be. So how do we get some practical steps? Okay, that's great. What do we actually do? How do you start making that change happen? Well, the first step is to figure out what is it that you want to get better at. You know, what area of your life or business do you want to be better at? Is it you want to stay more consistent on your habits? You want to learn how to make money? You want to have a better relationship? You want to take care of your health? Like what is the thing that you actually want to get better at? Getting clarity on what that thing is. 2 is to then surround yourself as much as possible with content, not even people, because it could be great to say, hey, awesome, hang around Joe Dispenza all the time and you will become better, you will meditate more, you will solve your awesome, but you don't know Joe Dispenza, and he's probably not taking on students right now or mentees, right? Or Elon Musk or Oprah Winfrey, whoever, right? You don't know them, and so that's not a practical answer, but you can hang around their content. It's why I make these videos every day, because if every day there was a new video for you, hopefully it lifts you to bring some of the best experts in the world, the people that I find inspiring and learn from, to share their message. Every morning, you don't have that person in your life, but there's videos for you. So step 2 is, so step 1, we're figuring out what is it that we want, right? Where do we want to improve and get better? Step 2 is, who are the people who are living it, who are preaching it, who are living it, who actually inspire you? And there's so many different people out there who are doing it, and everybody has their own way. I like to say that, you know, an Eric Thomas is going to yell at you through it, and Oprah Winfrey is going to hug you through it, but they have very similar messages. Whoever's style you connect with the most have that more consistently in your environment. Follow them on Instagram, subscribe to them on YouTube, put their quotes on the wall around you. Create your own environment of the people who make you feel like you want to do more, who inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and take on those new habits that you want to actually adopt, right? So you're creating a new environment for yourself without having to go live with Joe Dispenza or Elon Musk or Oprah Winfrey. Okay, so I call them aspirational mentors, and that can be fundamental, and that's where most people need to start, because you have access to their books and their videos and their content. You have that access right now, and that can make a big shift in you if you start surrounding yourself with it every day. And then step 3 is to get more in-person connections, and this is more time-consuming and more challenging and harder to find the right fits, but can make a big shift as well in your life. So I don't want to only rely on it. That's why step 2 is actually having just content that you're learning from. But step 3, if there's people that you're learning from, do they have an event? Do they have something coming up? Can you hang around people who are like-minded, who are also taking on challenges? I'm doing a challenge right now inside my Movement Makers program, where Movement Makers is for thought leaders who are trying to get to the next level with their content and break through and have a greater message and reach more people. But a lot of people haven't been as consistent as they should have, because they're the only ones doing this. They don't know anybody else making content. Their family thinks they're crazy. Like, why are you making another video? They're not seeing results. That they don't have a peer group. They don't have anybody to connect with and talk to. And this can relate to any goal that you have. Movement Makers is just for kind of thought leaders making content, but whatever goal that you have, if you're the only one that you know who's doing it, it's really hard to stay consistent on it. So our Movement Makers challenge is every month we have a challenge where you have to make a lead magnet for your business, a solo video, and then 3 collaboration videos with other people in the group. So it forces you to start making content. And for a lot of the members, this is the most consistent they've ever been now in making content, because 1, they're doing it together. You feel like you're doing it with other people, even though a lot of the content that you make outside will still be separate from the members. You're not doing a business together, but it feels like they're connected. We're taking on this challenge together. And then in the collaboration videos, you're connecting with people. You're doing interviews with people. You're sharing your thoughts and feedback. It's not just you talking to a camera in the car with your dogs by yourself anymore. And that really, 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 really matters. It really matters. So getting some kind of support group, connecting with other people who are on the same journey, going to seminars or events of humans that you can talk to and connect with who are doing the thing that you want to do. Because the more that you're around those people, the more you're going to stay consistent on the habits that you want to build. So using that 3-step process can absolutely change your life. It's entirely possible. And if you're watching videos like this, you're already on the growth mindset journey, right? You're already into personal development. You already know you want to do more and serve more and help more. And this helps you elevate yourself to the next level, because you are probably the most ambitious person that you know, that you're hanging out with. And that's a great place to be, because you're serving and helping, but it also sucks because it limits your growth of what you could become. Where if you can, 1, clearly identify what do you want to change? What is the habit that you want to take on? Where are you not satisfied anymore in your life? Not beating yourself up and saying you suck, but like the next level of growth that you want to accomplish for yourself. And then 2, following people just through content who are living that message, who are not just speaking it, but living it, who when you watch their videos, you actually get inspired to go make a change in your life. Who are those people? Subscribe to them, follow them every day. Watch their content, read their books, put their stuff up on your wall as a reminder. You're creating a new environment for yourself. And then 3 is actually connecting with humans, joining a group like Movement Makers or something else, going to events where your tribe is at, so that you are not alone doing this journey, feeling isolated and like you don't belong. Make those 3 changes. It will change your life. The difference between where you are now and where you could be is just the consistent habits that you're putting in. You know this. I know you know this. Now it's about taking the actual action to stay consistent on those habits.
Rule number 2, become efficient.
The number 1 rule if you want to make more money is you have to bring more value. Want to make money quickly? Provide value quickly. Want to make tons of money? Provide tons of value. If you are not making money yet, it's because people don't see the value that you bring. And we're going to change that in this video. So one of the first people that I had any kind of arrangement with on the top 10 series that I had on my channel was Tony Robbins. I made a video on Tony Robbins, I don't know how many years ago now, the first top 10 that I did on him, and his team put it on his YouTube channel. So it may still be there. If you go to his YouTube channel and then look at the playlist, you'll see that one of those videos is the video that I made on him so many years back. And I started trying to bring as much value to his team as possible. Now, Tony's a really busy guy. I'd loved him from all the books that he's written and the CD programs that I listened to. I hadn't been to an event yet at that point, and I was just trying to bring value to Tony's team. I didn't know him personally yet. And it frustrated me that he wasn't more on YouTube. And I thought, hey, this guy needs to be more on YouTube. I want more content for my channel. And I think the world needs more amazing speakers and thought leaders out there creating content on YouTube so people can learn. And so I kept in touch with his team and I said, hey, I'd love to help promote Tony. I'd love to help you with your YouTube channel. I'd love to have Tony on my channel. And I just kept trying to find ways to bring value to his team consistently and following up. And finally, here's what happened. Finally, they agreed, hey, yeah, let's have Tony come and do an interview on your team. And finally, they said, hey, let's have Tony come and do an interview on your channel. And I was so excited. I was super nervous to have Tony Robbins on my channel. It's going to be a big deal. And then like the day of or the day before, he had to cancel. For something happened. Something came up on his schedule. No problem. He had to cancel. And all of the nerves and energy is like, oh no, now led to disappointment. That is finally going to happen, and then it's not going to happen. And he said, we'll try to book it in as soon as possible to get it happening because Tony wants to be on your channel. Great. It took 2 years before we actually got Tony on the channel afterwards. 2 years. And that's not to throw shade at Tony. I love him. He's busy. He's doing his own thing. I wasn't bringing enough value to make it sooner. But what I did was I kept in touch. I kept following up, not just saying, hey, is Tony ready yet? Hey, is Tony ready yet? Hey, is Tony ready yet? No, I'm bringing value. I'm helping them with their YouTube channel. I'm giving them suggestions. I'm helping promote their events. I was doing stuff to try to still be in the circle, to stay top of mind, so that when the next opportunity came up, which happened to be when he launched his next book, to say, I want to be top of mind. And Tony agreed to do 5 different remote interviews for his new book. And I was one of the 5. And his team said, you've been so valuable to us. You've been helping us so much. We appreciate it. We want you to be one of the 5 that Tony does an interview with. Like, it's happening. Pinch me for real this time. I hope it's happening. And then the day of, he showed up, and I was super stressed out and nervous about asking the right questions and trying to bring value again. I don't want to disappoint people. And he showed up. It went great. We had an awesome interview. And at the end, he then said, hey, Evan, I'd like to invite you as my guest to my next seminar, which is coming up in New Jersey, Unleash the Power Within. And he invited me to like front row seats, special lounge access, and all the perks. Meet him backstage because he wanted to chat and take a picture, which then led to more events and other opportunities, and then speaking, and then connecting with Brendan Burchard's team, and like lots of stuff happened through the Tony Robbins world and connection because I stayed and I followed up, because I kept trying to bring value. And even after the first time when they got the cancellation on me, I still followed up for 2 more years and kept providing value for 2 more years, right? It's dog on the bone. I want this to work. I'm going to find another way through, until finally it did, and then things took off. And so the same thing for you and your business. If you want to have success, it's about thinking about ways you can provide more value. It's not that you can't provide value. It's not that you're not talented and that you're not a genius. You are. People just don't recognize the value that you can bring yet, and you haven't figured out how to bring that to market in a way that you're going to get paid to do it. Okay, so my 3-step process so that you can provide more value and get paid what you're worth. Let's go. Step number 1 is build your top 50 list. Think about who are the 50 people that if they knew you, if they liked you, if they trusted you, if they respected you, if they recognized who you were and knew what you were up to, that would mean something, right? For a lot of people, it doesn't matter if they know you or not. They're not going to be a referral source. They're not going to be a partner for you. But who are the 50 people that matter most, that you would love to have as dream clients or dream partnerships? Build that list of 50 people that you want to make contact with. Step number 2 is be their chief goal officer. If you want to have success, and this isn't just for the 50 list, but for your clients, for your team, for your relationships, be the person's chief goal officer. When you understand not just what you want, but what they want, and you help them get it, that's when the whole world opens up. The reason why I was able to get to work with Tony Robbins and his team was I made a video at the starting point, right? I made a video that they liked, that put Tony in a good light, that was respectful, that made him look as well as a business guru on top of everything else that he was already doing. And then every interaction I had afterwards, I'm bringing them value. I'm helping them with their YouTube channel, helping spread the awareness for programs and courses that he has coming up, right? I'm trying to be a resource for them, but around things that they care about. Not the things that I want to talk about. It's what they care about. And so if you're following your 50 people, right? You have your list of 50. Pay attention to what they're talking about. Try to catch them when they're in a time of need, right? So classic examples are when somebody's pitching a book, or when they're pitching a new deal, or where they're trying to get eyeballs on a new show that they just launched. Like, what are they talking about? If they've gone super dark and super quiet and they're not active on any of their social platforms, it's really hard to start to make an entrance. One of the people on my list has just gone dark, and we've had a good relationship for the past 2 years, and now he's gone dark. He's in book writing mode. It's like, I'm in book writing mode now, and I'm not going to surface for the next 4 months. So I'm not going to send him anything in the next 4 months. He's not going to be posting anything for the next 4 months. There's no point in me reaching out and seeing how he's doing in the next 4 months because he doesn't want to be bothered. But when he resurfaces and comes up for air, you know what he's going to need? He's going to need promotion. He's going to need marketing. He's going to need support. You know who's going to be there? This guy, right? Like, that's the process. If you promote my book right now, it just came out. I'm just in launch mode. I'm trying to get eyeballs on it, right? If you promote my book right now, if I'm on your list, I'm way more likely to reshare your stuff, to share the post, to pay attention to who you are than in 2 months if you did the same thing. And that's for everybody. Everybody's going in these cycles. What do they care about most right now? What matters most to them right now? And then you finding a way to be a resource to help them so that they know who you are. They recognize your name and say, that person's awesome. I love that person. When you get to that point, then when you reach out with an ask, when you say, hey, I'd love if you could XYZ, they're way more receptive to you because of all the value that you've brought. Be their chief goal officer. Understand what they want and help them get it. And then you can ask for what you want. And step number 3 is then just constantly follow up with value. Where most people quit is they don't get an immediate response. The more successful the person is that you're chasing down, the harder it's going to be to reach them. The harder it's going to be to penetrate them, right? So you have to consistently follow through, right? Like, just look again at my Tony Robbins example. It took a while to get that first interview. That got canceled. They promised to do another one, and it took 2 years before that next one happened. Of constantly following up, right? Not every day, but a couple times a month, constantly sending some value, pitching ideas, helping them with their YouTube channel, always through Tony's team, to the point where it's like, this guy, Evan, is bringing us so much value. Once Tony's opening up his calendar again, we have to make a spot for him, right? Most people quit too soon. Would you wait, a year to get the first thing and then 2 years before it actually happens, right? Another 2 years, would you wait that long? Would you follow up that much? Like, if you're on a short timeline and that this business has to work in 6 months and then you're going to sell it and do something else, this isn't the strategy. But if you're on a lifelong path, like, these are people who you want to work with. These are your heroes who you can't wait to get in front of. Then you have to follow through. You got to stay on it. Be their chief goal officer, but don't give up after the first time if you're not getting results, right? If you DM me and I don't respond the first time, if you leave an amazing comment and I don't see it, like, that's going to happen. You're going to get lost in the shuffle a lot of times. And especially if you're only doing it once. But if every time I go live on Instagram, you're there, asking great questions, showing love and support. When I went live on YouTube talking about my book, if you were there, right, asking questions, showing love to the people. If you bought the book and shared it with your story, right, I'm going to notice you. And forget about me. Maybe, who cares about me? Great. The next person. Gary Vee or Tony Robbins or Kevin Hart or Will Smith or Oprah, or whoever the person is that you love the most, right? Your top 50, you're constantly paying attention. And at any given point in time, not all 50 of them are going to need something. But inevitably, somebody on that list right now needs something. They need help. They need support. They need outreach. They need marketing. They need exposure. You can help be that person for them. And then they're going to remember you. The constant, never-ending, ongoing outreach of value to build the business that you want to build. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief, where every day
For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
Create an outline and a schedule. What I found really helpful for me was to create an outline at the start.
People who win work the hardest because they love what they do. If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it.
Rule number 3, make proper decisions.
You need to make the big decisions in life with your heart and the small ones with the head. Big decisions with the heart, small ones with your head. Why? Because your head only understands a world that currently exists. It's logical, it's practical, it keeps you safe. But your heart can create something new that hasn't existed before. It's why the number 1 rule for success is follow your passion. All progress depends on what your heart tells you to do, and then you use your head to figure out how to execute it. So I just got back from an event that I was keynoting in Florida, and I was meeting these 2 entrepreneurs and helping them with their YouTube channel. And one of them is a really logical, head-first guy, and the other one is a more heart-based, passionate guy. And they were asking me, so they're partners in the same business, and they're asking me, what's more important, logic or emotion? Logic or emotion? And they're obviously, the guy who's logic-based thinks logic is the most important, and the guy who's emotion-based thinks emotion is most important, right? You want to think that what you're great at is the most important thing. And I told them it's macro emotion, micro logic. Macro emotion, micro logic. You need to do both. So as I'm looking at their YouTube stats, I'm going deep into YouTube. I'm telling them all the data they need to know. I'm looking at the numbers and explaining your audience retention sucks here, we need to fix it. The percentage of subscribers coming to your channel is too low. All of this stuff. We're going deep into all their analytics. I can talk numbers for days. I love numbers. I love making data-driven decisions, but it's not the macro. The macro is the heart. The macro is, why are you on YouTube, right? Why am I on YouTube? Why am I making videos? That's the macro. And then you use your head to figure out the how. The science of the thumbnails and the audience retention and the playlists and the titles and all of the micro strategies that you can use on YouTube to grow. But it's macro emotion, micro logic. And so as I was explaining it to him, as I said, listen, it's macro emotion. He said, but I was listening to you as you were explaining things to me. It was very logical. Like, yes, the tactics were very logical. But the delivery so that you would understand it and then go home and actually apply it is emotion. It's not logic. It's emotion, because logic can be everywhere. The answers can be everywhere. You know how to lose weight. You stop eating junk. You know how to get fit. You start working out. You can find it, but why are people not doing it? Because you haven't connected emotionally. The reason why you understood what I was saying and you're willing to take action is because of the way that I delivered the information to you. Because I had you control the mouse and go through and do it yourself. Because I was encouraging to you when you needed it, and I hit you in the face when you needed it too. Not with my hand, with words, right? It's macro emotion, micro logic. You need both to win, but just recognize the situation that you're getting into. Your big decisions with the heart, and then you use your head to figure out how to do it. So it's common when you come up with a new idea for something, you make a list of pros and cons, right? And that's your heart often talking against your head, where you have this giant list and you say, well, these are all the reasons not to do it, but there's only one reason why I want to do it. And so if it's 10 con and 1 pro, what do? If you just look at numbers, you go for the con, but maybe the one reason why is you just love it. When your head and your heart are working together, it's easy. When your head and your heart are opposite, that's when it slows momentum. That's when nothing happens, because you want to do it, but it doesn't make sense to do it. You really love it, you have to do it, but there's no practical, logical, safe sense to do it. You need to get them aligned. Your heart needs to say, listen to me, brain, we're going. Now help me figure out how to get there. We're jumping. Now let's figure out how to make our parachute on the way down. That's how it is. Big decisions with the heart, small ones with the head. I'm going to give you a 3-step process that will help you. Step number 1 is use the fear of regret. The thing that can jolt you into action is to use the fear of regret. Imagine yourself 90 years old, looking back on your life, and this moment right now is the pivotal moment. What happens right now, this decision you're about to make right now will change the entire course of your life. What will you regret least, right? And then go do that one. Or what will you regret more if you don't do it, right? And then go do that one. Because the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of what other people are gonna say, all goes away when you can extend the timeline out. When you imagine that you're 95 years old, then this decision right now will set the course that if you decide to do the small thing, the safe thing, and then you hate your life for the rest of your life because you're worried about what your mom was gonna say, it puts it into perspective. It makes the future pain so big that it forces you to act. And so whenever you're faced with that decision, ask yourself, what am I gonna regret if I don't do it? Step number 2 is pay attention to what excites you. And this is especially when it doesn't make sense. What excites you? What makes you wanna go? What makes your heart beat? Like, what makes you get up and wanna move? Oftentimes, it's not the thing that makes the most sense. Because again, your heart can create a world that does not yet exist, but your brain only understands a world that currently exists, so it keeps you safe, logical, and practical. So pay attention to the things that excite you. Think about the last time you were really excited. What happened? What led to that? Now, how can you attract and bring more of that into your life? A great example for me is when I took over Toronto Dance Salsa. When I started salsa dancing, it didn't make sense. I'm tall, I'm learning as an adult, I take big steps, I don't speak Spanish, I don't understand the music. All of these cons, I just liked it. It excited me. Right? I wanted to go back. I couldn't wait for my next lesson, even though there are all these things against it. Practically, it made 0 sense. And now I own the largest salsa dancing studio in Canada, maybe North America, because I liked it. So pay attention to the energy, pay attention to the activities that you're doing that even if they don't make sense, you love doing, because if you keep doing work that you love, you'll get good at it and you'll become top in your industry. And then step number 3 is you quit when you don't love it anymore. People ask me, when do I quit? When do I give up? There's all this advice, never give up, never quit. That's not true. You should quit a lot, but you quit it when you don't love it anymore. You give up on it when it's driving you nuts. A lot of entrepreneurs stay in the business for too long, even though they don't like it anymore because they don't want to quit. But you will never win doing work that you hate. If you haven't found success yet and you still love it, you have to keep going. You have to keep going, or back to rule number 1, you will regret it. If you quit too soon, if you felt like you quit too soon, you gave up a little too soon, you're going to regret that your whole life. But if you've already grown tired of it, even if it is making money for you, then find a way to sell it or find a way to get out of it, because you should be doing work that makes you come alive, that gives you energy, that you love. That's the only way you're going to make a difference.
Rule number 4, work hard.
Hard work is your ticket in. It doesn't guarantee your success. There are tons of people who work hard and are living at the poverty line. But there is nobody who wins and doesn't work hard. Working hard is your ticket in. One of the biggest reasons why I've won on YouTube is because I've been making 3 videos a day for the past 5+ years. 3 videos a day for 5+ years. There have been 1 or 2 days where maybe I missed 1 video, not 3 videos, not an entire day off, maybe 1 video once or twice in 5 years. That's it. It's just been a testament to consistency. Every single day, videos have to go live on the channel. And I filmed through everything. I've filmed through having broken my neck, right, in 2 spots. I've filmed through having a concussion. I've filmed through being sick. I've filmed through completely losing my voice and then having to pull up pieces of paper with the notes written on it. I've filmed through everything. I think there's a lot of people who I look up to, who I think are way better than me, people who have way more talent than me, who are way more natural than I am at making videos and expressing themselves. And I've passed them because I just worked harder, because I just kept going, because I kept making the content. One of the biggest reasons why you are not more successful is you're just not consistently working hard enough at it. This game of entrepreneurship, whether you're trying to be a YouTuber or something totally different, it's, are you getting up every single day and doing the thing that you have to do? Because you're gonna get punched in the face. There's gonna be so many setbacks. Even today, this morning, my wife had a rough night last night. She had allergies. She woke up at 4 in the morning, had to take some pills, and just had a really rough night. And that set us back on our morning routine. Right? We have our morning routine. We go through our 5.5 S's every morning. We start off with singing. We'll put some music on, then sun, then soar, and then sweat, and then scare. And we got set back by half an hour by her having a late night. And this is where so many people fall down. When you have something that throws you off schedule, right? When you're sick, when life hits you in the face, when a distraction comes up, an emergency happens, how do you respond? Because if you only work hard when you have ideal conditions, you're never going to build a great business. We were set back half an hour today, right? What do? The same 5.5 S's. Let's go. How you respond matters. And so whatever's happening in your life right now, there's so many reasons why you can't win. There's so many reasons why you shouldn't get up and work. Lots of reasons. Reasons that are justifiable. The reasons not to work on your business are justifiable. And if you ask your friends who are non-entrepreneurs, or at least non-successful entrepreneurs, they'll let you off the hook. Tell your friends, yeah, I lost my voice. Like, oh, you can't make videos. You tell your friends, I broke my neck. Oh yeah, you can't make videos. Right? They'll let you off the hook, but these are not the people who have standards that you aspire to. Don't allow the low standards of your friends prevent you from doing the thing that you should be doing. And so how you respond to these emergencies and these life situations that happen matters. It means something. You with less talent, right? You might be introverted. You might have less talent. You might have less skills. You might not be naturally gifted at it. You can win. This is how you win, by working hard every single day. Are you proud of your effort? When I was still on my tour, even though I broke my neck, my quality wasn't as high post breaking my neck versus pre breaking my neck in terms of doing the workshops, but I was proud of my effort. Are you proud of your effort? And if you can sustainably say that you're proud of your effort, if you can wake up every day, you know, my wife is tired today. She'll take it a little bit slower today. But is she proud of her effort? Are you proud of your effort? If every day you wake up and then you do work and you're proud of your effort, I promise you're going to win. If you can sustain that for weeks, for months, for years, you'll win. Where the problem for too many people is you're working really hard one day and then you fall back, and then really hard one day and then you fall back. And that applies not just to entrepreneurship, it's life. You're really hard working on your diet and then you fall off. You're really hard working out in the gym and then you fall off. It's the consistency that matters. It's the working hard every single day. You are what you consistently do, and I want to see you guys win. Okay, great. So how do you actually develop a brutal work ethic? I'm going to give you a 3-step process you can follow. Let's do it. Step number 1 is you have to do something you love, right? I mean, you can only force yourself to do something that you hate for so long before you give up. Of all the people that I profiled, right, consistently across athletics to entrepreneurship to politicians to musicians, singers, all across the spectrum, people who've had success, the number one rule that keeps coming up over and over and over and over again is they love what they do. You have to enjoy the process. You like the work. I like making videos. I like speaking to entrepreneurs, right? I like it. If you are forcing yourself to do something that you hate, you will quit. You just will. It's going to be too hard. And so why spend all this time doing work that you hate, just chasing some opportunity, when you could actually focus those efforts on something you love to do and get results that nobody else can? You have to do stuff that you love. Number 2 is tell yourself that you do difficult things. This is how you build self-love. This is how you build self-confidence. This is how you build self-respect. You do difficult things. You like to do difficult things. And it's not just a mindset trick, like you actually do. You don't want to live the same life over and over and over and over and over again. You don't want a boring life. You don't want to just stay inside your comfort zone. And so to leave your comfort zone, that requires doing difficult things. And so whenever you're looking at a challenge that's in front of you, you're looking at a goal that's in front of you, you're looking at an outcome that you're trying to go after and chase, what's the reason that you're telling yourself why you can't do it? If it's, well, it's difficult, that's not an acceptable reason. Catch yourself. And ask your friends and your family, the people close to you, to catch you too. Anytime that you say, well, that's hard, that's difficult, and you do difficult things, you need to change the wiring. You like doing difficult things. The fact that it's hard makes it amazing. You don't want to do easy things for the rest of your life, do you? Do you want to just do easy things for the rest of your life? No! You want to do difficult things. You love difficult things. So watch the language. Watch the words you're telling yourself. Watch your thought process. If the reason why you're not achieving your goals is because it's hard, it's difficult, that's not a good enough reason, because you do difficult things. And then idea number 3 is be the tree. I love using this analogy. The idea is you're a tree. You're an entrepreneur. You're a tree. What do trees do? Well, trees, they breathe in carbon dioxide, right? Poison. They breathe in carbon dioxide. If you have too much as a human, you will die from carbon dioxide. They breathe it in. They eat it. Right? They eat it, they grow from it, and then they spit out positivity, oxygen for the world. That's your job. That's your job as a leader. That's your job as an entrepreneur. Your job is to eat the negativity, to eat the poison, to eat the difficulty, and then create something better for the world. It's service. Whatever this challenging thing is that you have to deal with, whatever you're trying to work so hard on, whatever you need to develop a better work ethic on, when you do it, you'll be able to help other people do it as well. And if you believe, like I believe, that humans are built to serve, then you're going to be able to help other people because your purpose comes from your pain. Because the thing that you struggle the most with, once you figure it out, once you get through it, what will make you come alive for the rest of your life is helping other people who are currently going through that thing. So you're a tree. This is what you're meant to do. This is what you're born to do. This is what you love doing. You're supposed to breathe in the poison, eat it, grow from it, and then make the world around you a better place.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, listen to your heart.
It's not fair. You're right. It is not fair. The situation that you're in, the people around you, the lack of resources that you have, it is not fair. I agree with you. So now what? Because you have a very important choice to make. The past does not have to equal the future. Where you started from does not have to be where you end up. All of your heroes overcame bigger obstacles than what's in front of you right now. So now what? Are you going to take accountability and create a new life, or keep complaining about how your current life is not fair? Let me tell you a quick story about friend of the channel, Alex Sayen, who helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. Alex was a student at TDS for a number of years and badly wanted to be a helper. Helpers are advanced students who then help volunteer their time to help out the other students. He was rejected. He was rejected over and over and over again that he was not good enough to be a helper. Finally, he got accepted to be a helper. His next step was he wanted to be assistant, then he wanted to be an instructor, and over and over and over again. While people were getting promoted and given opportunities, Alex just didn't have the material. Alex kept getting said, no, you're not ready, you have to fix this, you gotta fix that, you're not good enough yet. Keep going home, keep working on it. Eventually he got to the point where Sharon, who is the original owner of the studio, said, okay Alex, I'm gonna train you to be an instructor. Years after where most people would have been given the opportunity, Alex finally earned his way in. It's easy for him to have said, hey, it's not fair. Why are other people getting opportunities ahead of me? Hey, it's not fair on me. But he kept going. He kept working. He kept grinding. Then disaster struck. Finally, he got that opportunity, right, to be trained to be an instructor. And then Sharon, the lead instructor, hurt her back and couldn't train with him. So she asked me to come in and help teach the class. There's a problem though. You can't have two guys at the front of a class. I couldn't dance with Alex. That's not traditionally how classes are run. So Alex was defeated. Finally, he had worked so hard to get this opportunity, and then he realized, I'm gonna have to go back to just being on the sidelines because Emma's gonna come in and teach the class. Now, I didn't think Alex was ready. I had known him for a number of years. I didn't think he was responsible enough. I didn't think he had what it took. But because Sharon had made a deal with him, I decided I would honor that deal. And on the day that he came to pick me up to go to the studio, I said, Alex, we got two options. The class is happening tonight. Either I could run the class and do it and you can sit on the sidelines and watch, or you can run the class and I'll sit on the sidelines and I will guide and mentor you. You get to pick, but you have to decide right now because we're driving the class and we're going to be there in 15 minutes. What do you want to do? And to my, not just surprise, but also admiration, he said, I want to do it. He wasn't quite ready to take on the whole class, but he said, I'm going to do it. And he went up and he did it. Was it amazing? No, but it was momentum. And he kept going. And now, fast forward to today, if you gave me a brand new salsa student and said, this person has to learn salsa and I wanted to have a fun time doing it, I would put money on Alex over anybody in the world to give them the best possible experience. I would. From a guy who I didn't believe would be a good instructor to now being the best in the world. How? Well, he had to overcome all of these things that weren't fair. He had to overcome growing up having super sweaty hands and not being able to touch a girl, so he never learned to dance until he became an adult. He had to overcome years of people passing him by, getting opportunities ahead of him because he wasn't good enough. He had to overcome waiting to get his chance to be trained to be an instructor. And then finally, here it is, it all happens. And it looks like the whole thing is gonna get ripped away from him because the woman who was training him couldn't teach anymore. And then he had one shot. And that's all it takes. You will get your one shot. You will get your one shot. If you keep going, you will get your one shot. If you take accountability, you will get your one shot. What do you do when you get your one shot, but you feel like you're not ready yet? Because that's the pivotal moment where you can decide, I'm going to fall back to the life that I had, or I'm going to step forward into a brave new world that I don't know how it exists yet. And I'm scared, and I'm not ready, but I'm going to take it. But if Alex told himself, it's not fair that all these things have happened to me, he would never got his one shot. It wouldn't happen. Get clear on what you want. What do you want? Make it super clear. You can't just want a better life. What does that look like? Get super clear on what it is that you are going after. Write it down. One sentence. Make it clear for yourself. Make it clear for the people around you. Make it clear for anybody who comes in contact with you. Say, hey, what do you want? This is what I want. I have absolute focus. And when people look at you and say, you're never going to do that, look at where you're coming from, that's okay, because you have direction, right? The world gets out of the way for the person who knows what they want. You need to get clear on what you want. Get it down to one sentence.
I think people struggle with goals because they struggle with self-awareness, because they don't know who they are. And so they're constantly adjusting the goals that they have for themselves based off what other people think of them and based off what they see out in the media or on Instagram or on YouTube. They don't have self-awareness. And so you set incorrect goals. And so here's a 3-step process I call the higher purpose plan that I think if you go through will dramatically change your life. It did for me, it did for many others, and it's time for you. It's time for you to have meaning in your life and build something amazing. So let's go. Step 1 is your who. You got to figure out what your one word is, what your most important core value is. Who are you as a human being? I wrote a whole book on this, but just as a quick brainstorm opportunity for you right now, think about what is your single most important core value. What is it? If you had to pick one core value as a human being, what is it? For me, it's believe. I like believing in people. I need to believe in people. I hate negativity. I hate toxic people. I hate the haters, right? I don't want to be around people saying that you can't do this. I am the opposite. I need to believe. And so already right there, already having that awareness of what your one word is, what your who is, when you figure that out, it allows you to make better decisions. It means that if you were in a work environment, if I was in a work environment where people didn't believe in each other, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would be frustrated, be upset, I'd be angry. And now I know why, because my one word is believe. And so what is your single most important core value? Figure that out. It's one of the most important exercises you can ever do in your life. It's super helpful, it's valuable, it's important. You need to do it. Otherwise, you will never have clarity over your goals. Step number 2 is your why. Why do you do what you do? Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose comes from your pain. The thing that you will enjoy the most in life is helping people who currently are going through whatever you massively struggled with. Think about the biggest pain in your life, whatever that was growing up, the biggest pain, the thing you'd never want to have to repeat or go through again, that pain, that deep, dark pain you wouldn't wish upon your enemies, that pain, the worst day of your life, that pain. Your greatest joy in life will be helping people who are currently going through that pain and getting them through it. That's it. That's your purpose for life. That will never get old. That will be with you for life. And so for me, starting up as an entrepreneur was my biggest pain. I felt worthless. I was making $300 a month. I was suffering and struggling and just felt defeated as a human being. That's why I love helping out other entrepreneurs. And that's going to be it for life. That'll be my purpose for life. And so I know my who, I know my one word, most important core value. I know my why, my purpose comes from my pain. That is for life. Guys, just figuring out those 2 steps will give you so much more clarity over 99% of the world. It's worth it. It's a little bit of process to go through, but I guarantee you it's worth it. It'll dramatically shift how you see the world and what you do with your life. Step 3 is then the how. So it's the who, why, how. How is then your passion. It's figuring out what it is that you're actually going to do. So I could believe in entrepreneurs all I want, but what am I going to do it? You have to enjoy the process. If you look at the most successful people in the world, they enjoy the process of the work. It's not just the end result. It's not just for me about hitting 10 million subscribers. It's the process. I like making videos, right? I like helping entrepreneurs. And I do that through making videos, through speeches, through books. You have to like the process of it. Otherwise, you will never win. Once you figure out your who, your one word, once you figure out your pain, right? The why, purpose comes from your pain. Then make a list of all the ways that you have helped people deal with those struggles. And then circle the ones that you enjoyed the process of. If a friend of mine needed to move to a new building and I offered to help, and move boxes. I would be pumped for him that he's got his new office set up. That's believing in entrepreneurs, but I don't enjoy the process of moving boxes. And so I wouldn't circle that one on my list. But if it's making videos, if it's writing books, if it's going and doing seminars and speaking from the front of a stage, if it's helping entrepreneurs one-on-one at coffee shops, all that stuff, I love it. I love it. Like I could do it forever. I love it. It fills me. It gives me energy and fuel. And so I want that for you. And so you now make a list of all the ways that you have helped people, and then circle the ones that you enjoyed, not just the end result, but the actual process. And then figuring that stuff out, you're set. You're set. You're now a special human being. And I think it's within all of us to be able to do it. We just don't have the awareness that it's something that we need to go and chase down. And so figure that out. Get the self-awareness. Understand what your who is. Understand what your why is. Understand what your how is. And your life gets dramatically better.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome.
And if you want to learn the fastest way to change your state, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
The fastest way to go from a negative, low energy, sad, depressed, anxiety, stressed out state to one where you're more happy, positive, optimistic, bold, courageous, ready to start the day